Ex-offenders deserve a second chance. Ban the box. Ex-offenders deserve a second chance. Ban the box. Thank you for tuning into the Black Political Buzz Network, and my name is Laurel. On this video, I want to discuss the ban the box legislation. Ban the box legislation. Ban the box legislation is a set of laws, or it's legislation which offers people who have been arrested a second chance in life so that they can work. Because currently in our nation, we have too many people who have been arrested, especially Black and Latino people. We have too many people, especially of Black and Latino descent or ancestry, who have been arrested and not been allowed to work due to their criminal record. Now, it's okay if white people are arrested. White people can be arrested in the United States and still get a great job. And I'm not racist. This is not an anti-white video. This is not an anti-white video. I'm not preaching hate. I don't hate white people. I'm not spreading hate. But I'm just speaking of fact. This is truth. That in the U.S., the greatest nation in the world, if you're white and you are arrested for any crime, felony, misdemeanor, whatever, you can still go out there and get a great job. But if you're Black or Latino and you are arrested, it's like your life has ended. Especially if you are a black man. Especially if you are a Black man or a Latino man. More so a Black man. So the ban the box legislation is legislation that has really gained bipartisan support. Both Democrats and Republicans agree this legislation is imperative to our nation's growth, because we can't hire people. Without it, we can't hire people for many jobs, good paying jobs. I mean, what's the use of standing out and with a sign about raising the minimum wage if you're not going to even hire people so you can pay them a better minimum wage? So I'm tired of seeing the Democrats pay protesters to go out there and stand in front of a business like Walmart with a sign about raise the minimum wage. What good is that going to do if you're not going to hire people? You have to hire people and have actual employees in order to be able to give them a wage increase. So we have right now, in this era of our history, right now in our nation, the greatest nation on planet Earth, on my opinion, we have the highest number of unemployed Black men in decades. Under a Black president, we have the highest number of unemployed Black men in decades. And then politicians want to say, well, it's because they have police, records, they have criminal records, they're uneducated. That's a lie. There are many unemployed Black men with college degrees. So then the media and politicians want to say, well, they have a criminal record. That shouldn't be an excuse, because you have many white men out here with criminal records who are getting good jobs, getting hired to work on good jobs. It's racism from the Democrats, from the Republicans, even from many Black politicians. There are many Black politicians who are demonstrating racism against Black men and Latino men who have a criminal record, and it's wrong. But yet you want to throw these men in jail for not paying child support. You don't want to give them a job, but you want to throw them in jail for not paying child support. They go out there and commit one crime, make one mistake in their life or two mistakes in their life, and you want to throw them in jail forever and ever and ever and ever. You won't give them a job. You use their criminal record as an excuse, won't give them a job. Then they go out there and commit another crime. You throw them in jail. Their children, if they have children, grow up without them. So you will throw them in jail They can't pay. You won't give them a job. They can't pay child support if they have children. If they have children, they can't pay child support. So you're going to throw them back in jail. You're going to put them back in jail. That's a never-ending cycle of black poverty, Latino poverty, and no fathers in the home. It's time to ban the box. Ban the box means that when you apply for a job, in most instances, in most cases, when someone applies for a job, they complete a job application. There is a box on the application that asks, have you ever been arrested, or have you ever been convicted of a crime, or have you ever pled no contest to a crime? So then many companies will screen applicants based upon the responses to those questions. If you check yes, I've been arrested, or yes, I've been convicted, or yes, I pled no contest to a crime, then they screen you out. They don't want you working for that company. Now, if you're white, they'll give you a second chance. They'll say, well, he made a mistake, or she made a mistake, they made a mistake. But if you're black or Latino, you're a criminal. We don't want you here. No, it's time to ban the box. One of the most effective ways to lower or reduce the national high unemployment rate among black men and Latino men is to ban the box. Now, there are already many cities and counties, many cities and states, not counties, but there are already many cities and states that have adopted the ban the box legislation, which is legislation that prevents companies and businesses from asking job applicants about their criminal past. Now, that does not mean those companies will not still conduct a background check for certain jobs. That does not mean that those companies and businesses will still be prevented from conducting a background check for certain jobs. It's just that it'll give the applicant a fair opportunity to be interviewed and offered employment so they can work and pay their child support and support their families and themselves. And so they can reduce recidivism. We want to reduce recidivism. We're tired of sending men back to the cycle of prison. They in and out of prison. And then you wonder why you have no fathers in the home. You won't give them a job. They're going to do something. But is that part of the plan? The more men you put in prison, the more stock privatized prisons can garner for its shareholders. I'll say that again. The more men you put in prison, the more stock you can garner for privatized prison shareholders. So if you are a shareholder who has invested stock in the privatized prison industry, the more men that are locked up, the higher your dividends will be. It's a disgrace when people, human beings, decide that they want to make money off of locking up another human being. That's a disgrace. And I'm sure God is not pleased with that. I'm sure God is not pleased knowing that there are people that are so greedy that they'll want to see a person put in jail for minor crimes to make their pockets more fatter. That's a disgrace. We need to ban the box. We need to ban the box. Ex-offenders deserve a second chance. You should not be thrown away into the dungeon of American prisons to make some shareholders' pockets fat who's already rich anyway because you made a mistake. Or because you did something wrong. If you paid your society debt, if you paid fines or served any time in jail, I don't care if it was 1 day or 5 days, and you pay fines as well, then you deserve a second chance. You should have your record expunged. There should be not only the ban the box legislation in every state. Now, so far, there are more than 100 states and cities that have adopted the ban the box legislation, which prevents companies and businesses from asking a job applicant about their criminal history. There and again, that does not prevent the company or business from conducting a background check for jobs that need that done. Every job vacancy does not require someone digging into your freaking background for 30 years. And when they do conduct the background check, 30 years? For example, if you go apply for a job at McDonald's, why does McDonald's or Burger King or a Target or Walmart need to dig 30 years into your background? If you apply for a job in a daycare center, and I know children are important, I know that. But why does a daycare center need to dig 30 years into your background? Now, if you are a child sex offender, and you try to get a job in a daycare center or in a school, that's going to pop up anyway. You don't need to dig 30 years into someone's background to see if they're a child sex offender. That's going to pop up in recent background checks. I repeat, that information, if you are a child sex offender, that kind of information will pop up in recent years. Going back and digging somebody's background for 30 years is not necessary. Ban the box. And not only should we have ban the box legislation in every state and every city, not only should every state and every city have ban the box legislation passed, but expunging records. These people need to have their records expunged for free at the court's expense, because you're throwing men in jail. You're getting millions and millions of dollars from the federal government, for locking up these people for minor crimes for years, putting people in jail for years for minor crimes, making people pay extraordinary court costs and fees for minor crimes. You're not locking up Daniel Holtzclaw, a white cop in Oklahoma who raped many black women. You're not locking them up until there's an election and you need some black votes, but you're gonna lock up some black man or some Latino man for a minor crime. Give him 5 years in jail and make him pay all this money. And then if he owes child support, how can he pay child support? You're gonna lock him up. And that's another thing, locking up black men and Latino men for child support, for trumped up child support charges. The black man or Latino man may owe only $500 or $1,000 in child support, back child support. But the courts will trump up that amount so they can go to jail. And then that state will get federal money for locking that man up for a trumped up child support charge. It's time to ban the box and expunge records to give ex-offenders a second chance at life so they can be a decent citizen, a decent person who can contribute to American society. I want to see our ex-offenders have a second chance at life to contribute to being an asset to American mainstream society, not lock them up in jail forever as if they're animals, because they're not animals. They made a mistake. Give them a chance to be a real person, a good person, not a career criminal. Give these people, especially these men, black and Latino men, a chance to be an asset to our nation. Don't teach them how to be career criminals by locking them up habitually. It's time to ban the box and expunge records. Ex-offenders deserve a second chance. Ban the box. Thank you for tuning into the Black Political Buzz Network. My name is Laura. Have a great evening and goodbye.